Solomon said that we are crushing everything, and you heard the sound of the olives being crushed. Then we place everything inside of the baskets, and all the baskets will be placed, look at my hand, over here. See, we have already baskets down here. Again, please be aware of the donkey. The donkey is going around. So, under the baskets we have a vat. The vat is deep enough for my hand with a small jar to scoop out the oil out of that basin or vat. When we place 10, 12 baskets there, we wait. This is the first press. The best oil ever. The most pure. The most holy. And remember, always the first thing should be given to God. So they were taking this oil to the temple where they were lighting the menorah. And also they were anointing the kings, the priests, and the prophets. First oil for God. Then we need oil for us. This is why after we are scooping out the oil, we place the baskets back. And now we have an installation here, another one there. These are replicas, nothing is original. We have stones which are weights. Each of these stones is about 1,400 pounds. How this is working is very simple. You take these sticks and you are placing inside of these holes. And now we are lifting up the stones. I'm not lifting up the stones right now, not because I cannot, but I don't want to. So, when you lift up the stones, the entire beam would move. Maybe you see that we tidied the beam, we release the ropes, and the beam goes up there and down here. A little bit, which is quite enough to press the same baskets, but with pressure. Second press, we assume that one of the stones would be lifted up. And this would not be pure oil anymore. The second oil goes for us, cooking, making medicine and perfume. Third press, you are lifting up 3 of the stones, which means more than 2 tons over the same 10, 12 poor baskets. And now the oil would be so dirty that you are lighting only the oil lamps in your homes. By the way, this is a replica of the oil lamps that were found from the 1st century in the Galilee. This is called a Galilean oil lamp. Thousands of entire pieces were found, and this is the logo of Nazareth village if you see on my t-shirt, because you heard me talking about Jesus, about light, about God, about Bible all over the place, and we want to share the light. Now, we continue with the Hebrew words. Remember the first word that I taught you?
Netzer.
Netzer, great. Now, you remember my name?
Daniel.
Yes, great.
Daniel.
Some groups do not remember. So Daniel is the English version of my name, but my name actually is Daniel in Hebrew. Daniel comes from 2 words. Dan is to judge, El is Elohim, so God has judged. And always when we name our kids according to what we feel when we have a child. If we are happy, his or her name would be a happy name. But if we are sad, oops, it will be a problem. All their lives they will be reminded of the situation. This is our tradition for thousands of years. And we have examples in the Bible. For example, if somebody dies in our family, in the same time that somebody is giving birth, you know what the name of that new child would be? The name of the person that dies. So in a way it's a happy event, but in another way, it's a sad event. Now, as soon as I got married, I started praying to have sons. And I think this is a pride, for each man to have a son to continue with his name. So I had this pride. God didn't listen to me. He didn't give me any sons, he gave me only daughters, which is great, by the way, 2 daughters. And then I received also 2 sons-in-law. And actually they took my name. This was one of the conditions to marry with my wife. I'm not kidding, but anyway. And then I continued praying to have a grandson. And when I realized that my daughter is pregnant and she will have a son, after about probably 20 years of praying to have a man in our family, I said, God finally listened to me. And God is my God because finally he answered to my prayers. And this is the name of my grandson. God is my God in English. In Hebrew, Eliel. Eliel means God is my God. He's an answer to my prayers, and I'm so blessed. But now this place is called in Hebrew, Gat Shmanim. Can you say Gat Shmanim?
Gat Shmanim.
You need to practice. Gat Shmanim means the olive press. And you as English speakers, you know that you are not translating the names. You are just adapting the names. This is why Daniel became Who is going to call me, hey God as judge, come and guide us, isn't it? So it's easier Daniel, it's easier with Gethsemane instead of Gethsemane. Have you heard about Gethsemane? Yeah, the garden in Jerusalem. So the same word, two different languages. Gethsemane, Gethsemane. What was there? An olive press. What we do here? Crush the olives. What happened there? He would be bruised or crushed for our iniquities. Isaiah 53 again. So actually the crushing have started not on the cross, but in the Garden of Gethsemane. You remember that his sweat becomes like blood? He prayed, he said, Father, if it's possible, take this from me. How many times he prayed? Three. How many times he pressed the baskets? Three. Nothing is by chance. And you know, for me, this is an honor to know how much he loved me. I mean, he died for me. And it says in the Bible, no greater honor for somebody just to give his life for his friends. He loved me more than my family. He loved me more than my friends. And this is why every morning of my life, I'm giving my love back to him. I owe this. He loved me first, and I need to love him back. And this is a challenge for me every day, but this is an honor, and this is a blessing. Okay? Let's continue.